everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my kitchen. So today I am doing what we're gonna call Monday meal prep. I ran into some snags yesterday. I did not get anything done that I wanted to get done. It really threw me off this morning. So today I vowed that as soon as I got home from work, I was gonna jump right in and get a few things done. So we're gonna start here on my stove. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn both my front burners on and let those pans start to heat up. And yes, do you guys like those pans? Those are my rock pans. If you've been with me for a while, you know I did an unboxing when I got these. And they are my absolute favorite pans ever. So anyway, I will stop there and stop talking about my pans because you know I could talk about those all day long. So the first thing we're going to start with is I need to brown some hamburger, and I have the, hopefully you can see that, the 96.4 extra lean ground beef. And I'm going to go ahead and mix up one of these for Sloppy Joes. I almost forgot what I was making. And I'm going to mix up the other one for Big Mac wraps. Okay, turn my under the counter lights on so we can get a little more light here. So if you have watched my Cook With Me's before, you know I always put water in my pan so that, for one, my ground beef doesn't splatter. I mean, this one probably doesn't have any, you know, too much fat in it, so it shouldn't splatter, but I always do this. It's something my mother-in-law had taught me years and years ago. So we're gonna go ahead and put our first one over here. I'm gonna open the second one. And I'm keeping these separated because when I make the Sloppy Joes, I like to have an exact amount. Plus it's easier for me to measure out how much we're using and such when I don't cook both of these together. Then I have to take the time, I have to measure, I've gotta scale it out, you know how it goes. Okay, so I have my handy dandy little chopper here that I'm gonna be using for the meat. And it's just gonna help me break it up. Now, if you don't have that, a potato masher works perfectly fine. That's what I was using before I got this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start to break this up. And then I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And I'm just gonna let this go over here on the stove, and then I'm gonna switch gears and see what's next on my list. I know this is not going to be a huge meal prep today, but again, when I got up this morning, I had to make salads for my lunch. I went ahead and made my husband's breakfast sandwiches yesterday, as well as his sandwiches, and then prepackaged up some chips for him. But I didn't really take the time to grab anything for myself. I was going to grab soup out of the freezer, but honestly that just did not sound good. So instead of me taking something I didn't want, I just went ahead and made myself some fake Panera strawberry poppy seed salads. I'll insert a picture here. So you can see what I had for lunch today. Again, I'm just adding some pepper to both pans. And we really like pepper here, so a little extra doesn't hurt. I'm gonna add some salt. Gonna give those one more little quick stir, and then we're gonna switch gears. Know, does anybody else like twist when you push down? You like twist, push and twist and push and twist. I don't know. It kind of makes sense to me to do it that way, but I may be doing it totally wrong. So let me know. Is there a technique to this, or do you also push and twist? Leave your comments below. Okay, the next thing we're going to work on is my watermelon, and I'm thinking that the season's coming to an end and we are probably going to be having our last watermelon. So I'm going to go ahead and start to cut this up. And I can usually cut my watermelons up, I don't know, in 3 to 5 minutes, less than 3 minutes. It's usually very quick when I do it. And what I did is I put a bowl, I'll show you. I have my bowl in the sink here so that it's ready to go. So when I start getting going, then I can just dump it right into my sink in the actual bowl. So what I'm doing now is I'm peeling off the sides. I'm right-handed, so it's really hard to sometimes get this on the camera. Hopefully I've got a good angle. I'm gonna check. I'm like overcautious with my angles lately. So I just take the time to peel the sides off, and then I start to cube it. And I don't know about you, but it's so much easier to eat watermelon when it's already ready and you can just put it in a bowl, or you know, grab a couple of spoonfuls out of the main bowl and not have to take the time to cut it. Or, I mean, it's much easier just to eat it with a fork. Okay, just a couple more slices and we'll get that out of the way. Now, I've been doing this all summer on my videos. Have you taken the time to try out this method in your own homes with your watermelons? I'm always curious to know, you know, if I'm showing you a technique that really helps or works, if it's something that you've, you know, kind of put into your own routine. All right, now I normally will flip it over, just check the other sides, and I do have a couple little white spots here. I'm gonna pull those off. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. So I always have one cutting board to cut from so that I can just chop on my other one. And then I just dump right into my bowl. Then I'll grab the next one. Now you can do a couple of layers at a time, but I always just find it easier just to do it this way. Plus, sometimes I get a little overzealous and I make myself nervous, and I'm sure I'm probably making you nervous too. So we're just going to keep taking it slow as we go. And normally when I get to the end, I will go ahead and finish up my slices so that I can just keep going. There we go. And that way I can just grab and go. Here, I'll show you the two method. Not so bad, right? And then I have the last two. And you can cut these as big or as small as you like. I like to have mine in a little heartier chunks. That works out best for me. And then I'll bring this up here and show you what I have. How's that? Took just over 3 minutes, I think. So I'm gonna pop the top on. This is gonna go in the fridge, and then I will have my watermelon to snack on all week. There we go. All right, I thought I'd pop you back over to my stove and just show you that our ground beef is done. I just turned the burners off. So we have 2 pans done. Again, one of those is for my Big Mac wraps, and the other one is going to be for my Sloppy Joes. Now when these start to cool off, I'm going to go ahead and drain them, because again, it's not grease you're seeing in the pan, it's the water that I added. So I'll drain that off, and then I will add the Sloppy Joe mix to the one, and then I'll just put the other one in a container so that it's ready to go for my Big Mac wraps later in the week. Pretty sure I filmed my Big Mac wraps, so I will just link that below so you can see exactly how I do those. Okay, the next thing I'm going to work on is my other salads for the week. and I thought we'd chat for a second about the jars. So I use quart jars to make my salads in for work. It's a little easier to carry. It seems to come together really good. Plus I can put my dressing right in the jars with the rest of my stuff. So it just turns out really, really good. Now, when I make my salad in the jars, you can see that I have two size jars here. Hopefully you can kind of see the contrast in the sizes. So I prefer to use my wide mouth jars versus the regular mouth jars because it's easier to get your salad out of it once you get to work. So I just kind of wanted to show that to you just in case you were just trying to decide which ones to get. Always go with the wide mouth jars. Now, if you're new to my channel, let's see if I think I have a box up here. I use these plastic storage caps all the time for my jars. This is what they look like. Hopefully I could get a non-glare for you. And I really like these because of the fact that they just screw on, screw off. They're dishwasher safe. I use them over and over again and they work out great. So let's go ahead and get these started. Now I only need 2 salads. You've seen that I had made my 2 fake Panera strawberry poppy seeds salads. Actually, I think, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add that footage here. I almost forgot. I did film that this morning when I was making it. So I'm gonna add that in here so you can see that before. Actually, I think I'll just add it after this so that I don't cut up the Greek salad from that. So after I do my Greek salads, then I'll put in the footage from this morning where I did my other salads. So anyway, I digress. So, a little ahead of myself. So I'm only gonna make 2 more salads because of the fact that we are actually getting lunch on Wednesday this week. And they're getting shawarmas. I'm not getting shawarmas. I'm gonna get a fattoush salad with chicken breast on top. And to me, that is the best salad ever. So I will be having a fattoush salad. Looks like it's gonna be a salad week for me. So that is going to be my lunches for this week. 2 strawberry poppy seed, 2 Greek salads, and then 1 fattoush salad that I don't have to make myself. Okay, I grabbed some measuring spoons because I forgot to grab those out. So let's go ahead and get started. I know I've been kind of going on and on and on. So I have my Greek vinaigrette. If you watched my grocery haul, you'll know that I talked about this and it's really, really good. It's only 2 SmartPoints for 2 tablespoons, so really low in points. Now, if you've watched me do this before, you know I have a trick. So I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons in this one. I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons in this one. Okay, got those in there. And then I have a bowl here. Just gonna throw some water in it. And then what I do is I take 1 tablespoon of water and I put that in my salad dressing. Now the reason why I do this is because A, most salad dressings are too thick, and B, when you thin it out a little bit, it goes all over your salad and you get that salad dressing flavor everywhere. So I always like to do that. So I went ahead and rinsed my cherry tomatoes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put those in here. Try to get them as even as I can. And you want to put your heartier vegetables in your jars. Let me bring those back a little bit. So you want to put your heartier vegetables in your jars at the bottom, sitting in the salad dressing so that they don't get, I don't know, what am I trying to say? They don't get mushy. That's what I'm trying to say. So I have 1 cucumber here, and sometimes when I go places, they put cucumbers on Greek salads, sometimes they don't. I like it in mine, so we're just gonna do it how I like it because I'm the one that has to eat it. So I'm just peeling my cucumber here. And does anybody else peel their cucumber with just leaving some of the rind on? I think it looks so much prettier that way. Or maybe I'm just weird. You never know. I could just be weird. So I'm just going to chop that really quick. It seems like it's been forever since I've done a meal prep Sunday, Monday. Sunday seems like it's a little less rushed, whereas today I feel like I'm a little more rushed. So I'm just going to throw in a layer of those in the bottom of my jars. Okay, one more over here. All right, that looks good. And then I'll put the rest of these away and I will munch on those later. Grab a saucer for now. Just get those out of my way. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some feta cheese. Now, if you, again, watched my grocery haul, you'll know I was very sad because they did not have the fat-free feta. So I'm going to use the regular feta. I could have went to a different store, but I was lazy and I didn't want to go. So 1/4 cup of feta is 3 points. 1/8 of a cup of feta is 1 point. And I think 1/8 is going to be plenty. So I always like to put it on one side. I don't know why. Guess maybe because then I could see it. All right, so I have that. I'm gonna put that on this side. All right, so I have my feta in there. Put the top back on. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to use these sliced beets. So I'm gonna open this can. I'm gonna drain a little bit in my sink here. It's a lot of juice in that can. I just try to be careful with that because that beet juice, if you've ever gotten that on your counter, you know it is heck to get that off. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump these into a bowl so they're easier to work with. And then I'm gonna grab a fork so it's easier for me to pick these up and put them in the jar. So I always like to try to grab the small ones first. And so far in our jars, we have 2 SmartPoints for the dressing, and we have 1 point worth of feta. So that's not too bad so far, I don't think. The beets are 0. And you know, the only time that I eat beets is in a Greek salad. Any other time, I have no desire to have beets. It's so weird. All right, I've got that. The next thing we're gonna use is this Tyson grilled and ready chicken. This is 0 SmartPoints. It is already pre-done. I do like to get the cubed ones. They call it diced, but it's like a cubed. And we're going to put that in next. Not really gonna worry about measuring that too much. I have a 1/2 cup measuring cup here. So a heaping 1/2 cup looks good. And then we're just going to fill up the jars with some lettuce. Now I have this, I'll show you, this premium romaine. There we go. And this is the first time that I've tried this. I think it's pretty good. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to start to shove as much lettuce mixture as you can get in here. Don't worry, it will come out when you have to have it at work. Now, if you've never done this before, I'll tell you a little trick. When you get ready to eat this, about 2 minutes before you are going to have your salad, flip your jar upside down. What's going to happen is then that salad dressing is going to start to run all the way down into your jar and, you know, onto your lettuce. You don't want to do that till you're ready to eat it because you don't want your lettuce to wilt. So you notice that my lettuce is nowhere near where the salad dressing is. And that's the best way to do it so that your lettuce doesn't wilt. And here's something funny. So my friend Elizabeth, she actually went to a salad in a jar party. Have you ever heard of that? Let me know if you've ever heard of that. I had never heard of that before. So apparently everybody brings an ingredient or something, and everybody goes home with a couple of salads. I don't know all the details because I didn't partake because I do this all the time. But she really enjoys it. She said she's learned a few new salads, so I think that's pretty cool. All right, that one seems pretty full. I'm gonna go ahead and put the cap on this one. I think I can fit a little bit more on this one. You see, I'm shoving it in there. You just want to keep shoving until you can't fit no more. And by the way, have a big plate when you get to work, because it does. There is a ton in here, like a ton more than you would think. So this is our 2 Greek salads in the jar. Aren't they pretty? And what did we say? Those came out to be 3 SmartPoints? Not bad, right? Not bad for a Greek salad. So there we go. Let's see what's on our list next. Okay, so now I'm gonna throw together quickly a couple of salads. I have my premium romaine salad mix here. Just thought I would take the shortcut and not chop up my own this week. But if you watch my grocery haul, you already seen that I had put this on. You know, I had bought this week so that I could use them and mix up some salads. So I have my lettuce down here. Going to go ahead, and I also have some chicken already cooked, and I just threw it in this container. I'm gonna grab some strawberries. Just grab a couple of those, give us a quick little rinse. Of course, grab my cutting board, and you'll be happy to know that I ordered a new cutting board. Just the cutting mats. I seem to always use these a lot, so I went ahead and ordered some fresh new ones because the ones that I have are getting a little old. So I'm just gonna grab a knife here. Now the original poppy seed salad calls for blueberries and pineapples, and I didn't feel like pulling all that stuff out this morning, so I'm just going to throw strawberries in here and mandarin oranges. I thought that would be a good combination. Now this I'm doing Monday morning before work because of the fact that I got tied up yesterday and Sunday meal prep did not happen. So hopefully Monday meal prep will happen because of the fact that Monday morning salad making, not fun. As much as I'd like to say that I get everything done on Sundays, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's a Monday meal prep, and that's okay. As long as you get something done to kind of save yourself some time, I think that's what matters most. So I'm just giving these a quick little chop here and just layering them in my bowl. And anytime I make a salad, I always make 2 because it always seems like it's just easier just to go ahead and chop up 2. You've already got the ingredients out, and then you've got one for now and one for later. It's kind of like that mentality of cook once, eat twice. I always like to give it a rinse before I wash it. All right, so now I'm going to open my mandarin oranges. And I'm just gonna cut, I hope you can see that. I'm gonna cut a slit in this so that I can drain off the juice. And I'm just gonna separate this between the 2 salads. And that's another reason why I like to do this, is because of the fact that I don't like to have a full container of the mandarin oranges on my salad. So it's always easier to make 2 of these. All right, it's about half. It's my other half. Now today I thought, grab a rag up here. I always keep rags over to the side just so that I have them handy. All right, so I'm going to be using my fat-free cheddar cheese today. I don't know if this has cheese on it, but it sounded good, so I'm throwing it on. I'm just making sure not to put more than a 1/4 cup on each salad so that I don't have to count the points for it. And I think I'm well within that, so I think we're good. Gonna grab a measuring spoon. Because I always measure out my salad dressing, because I don't know about you, but I over pour sometimes. That's all I'm putting in the salad today. I was thinking about grabbing something else, and I think this is good. If I decide to add more stuff later, I know that I'm going to be making my Greek salads later. So if I make those, I may add some more stuff to the other one. But for now, I'm just going to stop there. Today I'm using the Skinny Girl poppy seed dressing. Hopefully you can. It's good. And I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of that. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know my trick, right? I use 2 tablespoons of salad dressing, and then I grab a tablespoon of water and thin it down, because I don't like my salad dressing really thick, and I think that if you add the water, then what happens is it pours across your salad and spreads more evenly. All right, so I'm going to head out the door. I've got my salad made. I'm gonna throw one in the fridge, and stay tuned. So I'll add this in with my hopefully Monday night meal prep. So stay tuned. Okay, now that I have my ground beef drained, I'm just going to turn my pan back on, and we are going to add a can of manwich, and that's it. I always like to do this and turn it back on so that it has time to let the flavors meld, and then I let it completely cool off. I don't cook it long. I just basically, like I said, just give it time to incorporate. And then, I mean, maybe it would do the same thing if I just put it in a bowl and just let it sit, but just for some reason, I like doing it this way. And this is what works for me. Just grabbing a spoon here, I'm just gonna give this a stir. So very simple, and I know that you could probably do this when you get home from work, but you know what? This is one less thing that I have to contend with. I can make a side dish. We can choose to have fries. I can throw those in the air fryer, and then those are done in just like 10 minutes. I can also call my husband when I'm getting close, and he can throw the fries in, and then we just pop this back in a pan and heat it through, and we're good to go. I mean, dinner is on the table in, you know, less than 10 minutes. So it, again, works out really well. So we have our other pan of hamburger, ground beef, ground sirloin, whatever you want to call it, sitting in the back. I'm just letting that cool off. I don't like to put anything in the fridge hot. So as soon as those cool off really well, then I will go ahead and put them in the fridge. So we're gonna get this thing here going here for a minute or two, and I'm gonna shut that off, and we'll move on to our next item. I feel like it's The Price is Right. You are the next contestant in the meal prep session. I totally should cut that out, but I won't. Okay, next up, I am going to work on my breakfast for the rest of the week. I already have one in the fridge because I did do 2 breakfasts already when I made my husband's stuff last week. Oh, speaking of my husband's stuff, if you watched my grocery haul, if I think about it, I'll try to put it here at the bottom in the comments. But if you watch my grocery haul, I was trying out some new containers. So here are the containers that I found. Let's see if I can bring those in. Hopefully you can see which ones I have here. So I found these containers, and they are 2-cup containers, and I was really hoping that my husband's breakfast sandwiches would fit in them, because every week I use the baggies, and it takes forever to open the baggies and close the baggies, and my fingers get sore because I use the baggies. So anyway, the sandwiches fit in those containers. I was so thrilled that I finally found something. So I've been looking for a while just to have something to store his breakfast sandwiches in. So super stoked about that. So anyway, let's move on and get our overnight oats done. So overnight oats, you know I make these all the time. Now that it's fall, I'm kind of changing up what I'm doing on my recipes. Now, if you see those seasonal flavors coming out, those seasonal spices coming out, I want you to pay attention to them, because we have the pumpkin pie spice. So I'm going to make 1 pumpkin pie oatmeal. We also have the apple pie spice. This one, fabulous. Apple pie oatmeal, can't go wrong. I also have the gingerbread. I'm not going to use this one today, but I wanted to show it to you. But these are perfect for flavoring up your oatmeal, and they don't cost you any points. So give those a try. Think outside the box, experiment. Grabbing one last ingredient, I almost forgot my vanilla. So let's get started. I use 1/3 cup of oats. And I have these measurements in other videos that I have. So I'm just going to go ahead and make these now. I think the size jars that I'm using are the pint jars. I think that's what they are. Not exactly sure. They're maybe 1.5 cups, a little more than 1.5 cups. But these, again, are the wide mouth jars. I really prefer those over the other ones. So I've got my oats in there. The next thing we're going to add in is a packet of Sweet and Low. You can use any type of sweetener that you like. I like mine a little sweeter, so I always add a packet of sweetener to mine. The next thing I'm going to add is my spices. So I have the pumpkin pie spice. I'm not really going to measure that. I'm just going to put it in until it looks good. And that looks good, so that's done. I have my apple pie spice. I'm going to put that in the other two. So I'm just going to shake some of that in. Okay, got that in. Next thing I'm going to add in to my pumpkin pie spice is some imitation vanilla. I'm going to set that off to the side. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up an apple. So, for my apple pie oatmeal, you guessed it, I'm going to put apples in it. This just makes it so much better. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up half the apple and put in one. There's no exact science on how I'm doing this. Pop that in here. Gonna go back, make sure I got a good angle on this. There's nothing worse than watching a video and then you just don't have a good angle. Ooh, that's kind of loud. Let's see if I can cut it this way. Okay, that's totally awkward. And another good thing is when you're doing it this way, you can always tell which flavor is which, so you don't get a surprise at work when you're getting ready to have your oatmeal and you think it's one thing and nope, surprise, it's something different. Now for the pumpkin pie one, I may go ahead and add a banana to that one. It's really good. Don't knock it till you try it, but it actually is really, really good. So I've got my apples in here. I've got a half an apple in each. And then we're going to go ahead and put our liquid in. So I'm going to grab another measuring cup. And I'm going to put approximately 2/3 of a cup of liquid in these. So I'm going to fill it up with my unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I'll show you that. I just picked this up at Costco. And I'm going to go ahead and pour that in the jar. So it's about 1/3 cup of vanilla almond milk, again the unsweetened one, and then 1/3 cup of water. And the reason why I do this is because of the fact that when I've used just the entire vanilla almond milk, it's too creamy almost for me. So I find this combination to work better. You can use it however you want. The almond milk is, if you use 1 cup of it, it will add a point. But if you don't use the full cup, then it's 0 points. And again, I just use 1/3 cup in each approximately. So pumpkin pie, apple pie, 3 SmartPoints each. That's a really good breakfast, and it's a really healthy way to start your day. As well as this really keeps me full, sometimes almost until lunchtime. Sometimes I will have to have a morning snack, but it's not often. So it's a really good hearty breakfast for me. And again, 3 SmartPoints will help set you up for a good day so that you're not wasting all of your points at breakfast. All right, so I've got those done. And I think we only have one more thing next. So let me switch gears and we'll get started. Okay, so it's a good thing that I'm filming in order today so that I can fill you in on things that I forgot. So for the overnight oats, what I do with those is I heat them in the microwave for 1 minute, I stir it, and then I cook it for 30 seconds more. And that seems to cook those perfectly. And the reason why I do it 1 minute and then 30 seconds is because of the fact that if you try to do it for a full minute and 30 seconds, it always boils over. And then you make this huge mess in your microwave, and then you spend half your time of your break in the kitchen at work trying to clean it up. So that's not fun for anybody. So I'm going to adjust the camera here. There, perfect. All right, so the last thing on our list is to get our onions ready. So if you, again, watched my grocery haul, you know we're having chili dogs this week. And I'm going to need onions for that. And then I'm also doing fajitas. So I'm going to need some onions for that. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy knife here, and we're just going to go ahead and get started chopping some onions. So I have some peppers, but I think I'm just going to save those because I also have peppers in my freezer they're already diced. So I think I want to use those up. So I'm not going to chop my peppers today. Well, not chop them, but dice them. So I think I'm just going to use the ones in the freezer so that I can use those up and get ready. If I don't get my freezer cleared pretty soon, I am not going to be able to put peppers up this winter because of the fact that I have done a bad job of stocking and restocking. I keep overbuying stuff and not sure why. I just do it. So my freezer's well stocked. I could probably go a week or two without grocery shopping and we would still be able to eat like kings. Maybe that's what I should do for the next couple of weeks, right? So anyway, I'm not going to be chopping the peppers today for the fajitas just for that fact. So again, this is the last thing on our list. So that meal prep wasn't too bad today. All right, last one. I think this should give me enough for what I need. All right, so I'm just going to check my angle first, right? All right, we're good. Just going to cut this one in half. And I'm just going to go ahead and dice these really quick. You know what, maybe we'll just slice this. We'll slice for a while. So I just slice them in little rings and throw them in the bowl. So that it makes it super easy to cook it, and then the peppers are about the same shape and size so they cook more evenly. So there's some more. Now I'm making beef fajitas this week. I don't normally make the beef fajitas, but again, I seen them at the store, the beef fajita meats, and I thought that looked really good. And I thought it would kind of change things up because we eat a lot of chicken. I'm sure if you are doing the WW plan, that you are also eating quite a bit of chicken too. So sometimes you just want something different. All right, last couple of onions here. See, meal prep went a little quicker than I thought it was going to be. Like I said, I really wish I would have got a chance to get it done yesterday, because then it would have made my day so much less stressed this morning, because this morning was pretty stressful not having the stuff that I needed to have done ready. So I really need to kind of start making this a priority, and if I know I'm going to be super busy on Sunday, then I need to do it on Saturday. All right, this is our last half, and again, I'm going to go ahead and chop this one up for our chili dogs. And that's it. So I'm going to pop these right in my other bowl here. And again, this is just one less step that I have to do. I know chili dogs are a quick meal, but it's one less step that I have to do when we make those. All right, so that's done. I think I'm going to wrap up today's video so that I can take the time to get this edited and get it up tonight. So with that said, thanks for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions. Again, that's what the comment section below is, and I love when you ask questions or when you comment. So with that said, have a great evening. I hope that you have some meal prep in your future, and we'll see you next time. Bye.